We got ourselves be as sneaky as an under. Look at that chest, dude. Oh, is that the normal version? What kind of chest is that? That's not a heroic. That has to be normal, right? That looks so good. Oh my god, look at that eyeball out of his chest. Oh, I think it looks so great. Oh my god, we got also fast skills. Oh, look at like a nightmare. I think it looks like BS Sneaky got the chest and he got the helmet. I think you guys are in the same raid guild and you have to share loot. It looks like it's going to be literate here as well. We'll look at the demonology and Majukes as a furry with a big old sword. I guess maybe even one corruption or maybe two. Boomer on Team Red. They're missing one guy. We got us a Seabark. We got us a Night Demon. And you said what? Hopefully the 5th does get to join in. But it looks like it's going to be Boomstar off the bat. Trying to show off as a big old demonology, while Team Blue is trying to figure out who's going to be first or last. It looks like it's going to be Fast Skills coming up first. That's going to be Boomster just taking a little bit of nap, trying to bait the rogue in. Fast Skills should be aware that there is a pet somewhere out there. Hiding in stealth. If Fast Skills could somehow get a sap on the pet, that'd be great. Looks like Boomster is going to get hit with a sap, with a road. Kidney Shot does apply onto Boom as soon as the Succubus CC comes in. And that appendage is actually doing quite a bit of damage. That little technically boy is actually doing quite a lot. Double Crucible onto Boom. Does go for a Smoke Bomb. Boom still is going to get himself Cataclysm and a Night, and get himself an Infernal in there just to give Fast Skills some company. He could Shadow Step, does get Horrified onto Shadow Step, but he's going to get himself another appendage. It's going to be mildly rolling onto the Rogue. Good Cloak right now. Does go for a Feint. It's going to land a Kidney Shot onto Boomstar, does wall for it. That's going to be Chaos Bolt right now for Fast Skills. Does get himself a Vanish off. Could maybe go for a Garou, but that's going to be a wall for Boom. No Cloak of Shadows available for Fast Skills. He's going to get killed with the Chaos Bolt right before that thing is available. Does get it at the very end. Goes for a Warlock Hellstone and try to get himself as much mass healing as possible. Boomstar popping off even more damage. Fast Skills got to get some dots to the Boomstar right now. Land another Kidney and try to avoid himself the Succubus CC. Boomstar does get the angle with a big old Chaos Bolt for free. Onto Fast Skills. He does need to land a Kidney Shot onto Boom. Does land it. It's going to be Succubus CC right after. Needs to be aware of it. Doesn't have a trick in 4. Boomstar got himself a right position just to get it. A nice CC onto Fast Skills and smacking him Chaos Bolt right in the face. Does go for a blind on the Boom. Could maybe catch himself a reset. Could wait for another Kidney Shot, but does need to remember it. Next Kidney is going to be a Succubus CC every time. Boomstar being proactive, trying to see if he can get himself a corner strat. Onto Fast Skills. He does get a slow onto the Rogue. Shadow Fury trying to happen around the corner. Does miss it. Cataclysm does not connect. He cancels it at the last second. Trying to see if he can land a Horror Effect onto Fast Skills. Looking to get him hit with a Death Coil. And Fast Skills just unloading the damage onto the pet. I think he actually even went to interrupt the pet on the Succubus CC. Maybe a Kidney Shot onto Boomstar right now. Fear coming out. This is going to hit him with the Mallet. Going to be an Immolator for Boomstar. Does he have a Shadow Step to follow? Maybe does Shadow Step. Kidney Shot does come out. Succubus CC is coming out immediately. It's going to be on Fast Skills. Did not have a way out of it unless he goes to interrupt the pet. This is going to be Boomstar. Actually, it looks like the Succubus CC breaking out a little bit early. Fast Skills get hit with an Infernal, but that's actually a fake Infernal. Chaos Bolt flying for him downtown. As Fast Skills is going to take a bit of damage. Infernal surrounding him. There's going to be Cataclysm around the corner. Boomstar got himself a good position. Resummon his Succubus. Fast Skills not looking all that clean right now. Does at least live through those pets. But next time, Boom has the setup. It's probably going to be in. Fast Skills does have a trinket coming up very, very soon. Does not have a trinket for the Horror Effect. Going to be a Mallet, I think, rolling him Fear instead, actually. Not a Mallet. It's actually just Boom's corruption. Just he's now there's a Mallet. But it's just a Boom's corruption radiating from him. Casbo into Fast Skills. I think it's going to be down for the count. And down it goes. Fast Skills. Guarderia de Valperas. What does that mean? Is that the guard against Valpera? Is that what it is? The guard against Valpera? But Chicks is just like, bruh. Bruh. Oh, I like your setup. Oh, that's so, that helm and how you can only see the eyes makes me think of like an anime. Is it just me? It's like those, like an anime thing. I don't know why. I feel like you could do like an anime montage with that shit. I think like Naruto, but like less cringy. Oh no, just as cringy. 12 times as cringy. The cringier, the better. Boomstar is going to get a big old Casbolt. Shadow Fury onto Literary. Got himself a nice positional far away from the Shaman. Intro Horror Effect to follow. Literary does pop a wall. Does not get himself a Grinding Totem or anything, but that was a good wall. Try to wall up some of the damage. Casbolt is going to fly for free. And it's going to probably cash in. Right as the wall goes down, I think it still did get the wall usage out of that Casbolt though. I think the wall did dampen it a little. But Literally got himself quite a bit of healing right now while behind the pillar. Didn't take him long at all. But he needs to find a way at Boomstar next time. Needs to rotate the Grinding Totem. for any CC. I think he just used a lot of his cooldowns just now, like Ascendance. So you might not have those available until later. So you just might have to wait until he might be able to get it with Boomstar. And if you're able to tit for tat, trick for trinket, grounding for a CC, and maybe get out of CC somehow, still be able to blast out the most amount of damage with Boomstar, he might stand a chance. Boomstar getting himself another succubus resummon, illiterate coming out in the open. It's gonna actually be put out in a bad spot, using the sprint to get out of the root for a second. Does get himself a Tremor Totem in case the Fury comes out for Boom, but now Boom knows he could go for a succubus CC if he wants to actually set the pet over there to kill the Tremor Totem. Horror effect right now into illiterate Fury right after with a Shadow Fury to follow. Illiterate does get smacked down by every cooldown. It's gonna be more. Casable's most likely out of Boomstar. Fury coming out, does not want to interrupt that. It's gonna be Casable for free. Does get interrupted on the Casable though. The Fury does break through the Infernal's damage. That's gonna be Ghost Wolves through the Casable still for free. Illiterate does he have a grounding totem? I think he did put down grounding. I don't know. Boomstar was able to take it out. Blood of the enemy coming out for Illiterate, trying to max the damage into Boomstar. That's where Storm Strikes need to come out. Needs that RNG right now. He's gonna get himself an Earth Shield with a little bit of a heal. Blood of the enemy damage did not really go. Boomstar does use the gateway to get out of the capacitor. Looks like Kyle Jr. finally does get the join Team Red. Make sure you move around so you don't get deceived, my bud. Make sure you're moving around so you do not get deceived, my friendo. How you doing, Kyle? It's going to be Casbolt almost for free. That's a short stun onto Illiterate being an Orc. Then it's also going to be Grounding Totem that he doesn't have a use for right now. Illiterate trying to see if he can unload some damage. That's going to be him popping off some cooldowns. Stun onto Illiterate now with a Casbolt to follow. Safety Shaker coming out. Popping and goes with Fury still coming out either way with a Casbolt right after Illiterate. Super low on health. Is going to get a kick on that Fear, but Casbolt's not even needed. Boomstar gets a big old conflag to slap Illiterate as he tried to fight through the destruction of Warlock power. And Boomstar had every cooldown up for offensively. Didn't even have to use wall. That's just how hard it is to be an enhancement shaman, honestly. But Chix is gonna get a nice nice little Vapura bow. I think it's the same as a goblin bow, actually. Like, to be honest, I think it's the same one. It's gonna be a bit of a conflag by Boomstar in the open. Matux needs to close the gap immediately. Fear coming out. That's actually gonna stop his charge halfway through. Should have probably Zerker's Rage while he's charging in. It's gonna be Stormbolt onto the Chaos Bolt. The Boomstar got himself a good setup. That's actually going to be Succubus. You see CSC's go for the Cyclotronic. Second Casbolt coming out. Matrix actually could have popped Reflecting halfway through, but he didn't go for it. Has the pet to get some heals from. Has the pet to get heals from, so you should be doing that as often as possible. And Boomstar is going to pull the pet back. Matrix does have some corruptions of his own, actually. He does have some corruptions of the Radiate. Actually, I don't think that two-hander is a raid weapon. I think that actually might be from PvP, Conquest Caps. That might be a PvP Conquest Cap, so I don't think he has a corruption that deals with it. That's going to be, oh, Shadow Fury trying to come out for Boomstar. Going to get a horror effect on the Magix. He does go for a Fear onto the pet. Trying to see if he can blast some damage with Boomstar. He does go for a big gateway. Trying to go for the Focus Azeroth Beam. Does not reach Boomstar. Interesting choice to go for the Azeroth Beam, but that's the pet to at least get some heals from. So you should be healing off of the pet. Should be looking out for Boomstar trying to resummon a new one. And Boom is trying to maximize his position, actually using Health Funnel to keep the pet afloat. Looks like he's just going to keep the pet over there in the corner until he catches an invis. Matux trying to see if he can close the gap, but he's going to get hit with a conflag, immediately having to go behind the pillar as soon as that happens. Boomstar is not going to give him the pet behind the pillar. It's not going to give him any of that. It's going to be a Chaos Bolt for free with a Fear to follow. Zerker raging out of it late. It's going to be interrupt onto Boomstar. I don't know what he interrupted. Was that a Chaos Bolt or a Fear interrupt? Boomstar does check it out of that. That's going to be Infernal, double Infernal, beating up Matix with Horror Effect as he leaps up top of Matix with a Chaos Bolt to end him. Double Infernal was so good. I don't know if it double empowers the Chaos Bolt though. Maybe it does. Like, it does not double empowers it, but like gets through the empowerment faster since it's True Infernal is applying the buff. I wonder. I don't think maybe that would be too busted. Maybe that's why people use it though. Maybe that's why people use it. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. And next up is Lucron, trying to see if he can make his play. 21% dampening versus Boomstar. This is a more of an open arena. If you can get Boomstar out in the open, he might be able to have an easier time with him, but Boom is going to bail behind the pillar for just a second. He has all the pets to get resources from, and that's going to be Freebie Infernal right now for him, which is quite good. Lucron is able to at least build up some soul shards from a distance. Try to see if he can stun Lucron. He does land the stun onto Lucron from afar. Try to see if I can use some unhook camera here for a little bit to give you guys a little bit more review. Interrupt onto Lucron. Boomstar trying to see if he can get an angle on him. Getting banished onto the pet. The Felguard does get banished. Horror effect coming onto Lucron. Trick inside of it. Boomstar looking to line aside. 80 cast from Lucron. That's going to be a freebie Infernal coming out for Boomstar. Lucron looking to get himself a little bit of that setup onto Boom, but he's not given opportunity. He's just hiding behind the pillar the whole time. Lucron trying to see if he can get Boomstar out in the open at least. And Boomstar is just chilling. He's gonna wait until he has himself a good setup. Looker looking to resummon his pet completely. 9 minutes in, boys. 27% dampening. Look at all that hot right now. Very unfortunate. And Boomstar just got himself that sustainability damage from the Destruction Warlock. It's so difficult to counter that playstyle. Just so consistent. Does land a horror effect onto Lucron. Interrupt onto Boomstar for a second. Does land a fear onto Lucron for a second. Does break pretty quickly. Like, those pets don't do any damage, so for Lucron, he basically just has to go Tyrant every time, dude. He has to go Tyrant, because those Demon Doggos, that Felguard, they do very little damage. Or effect up on Lucron with a Casbolt to follow right after. Stun, Casbolt again! Does pop a wall as Lucron decided, you know what, this is time for me to get maybe some damage back into Boomstar, but he does go behind the pillar immediately. Being a Warlock, you have, like, almost no insta-cast. Most of your main abilities need to be cast, and for Lucron, it's just such a ramp-up. It's just, the ramp is so much bigger than Boom. Like, Boom has a bit of ramp, too, but, like, in comparison, Lucron gotta climb a mountain. Boomstar just gotta walk up a hill. Walk up a slight incline. At like 27 degrees up. At most. Maybe it's bad if you have like bad knees, you know? Hurt your ankle or something. But for the most part, it's a mile compared to a rock climb that Lucron has to go through. But maybe he might be able to get to it, dude. He's trying to play out the game. And I believe in the Demonology Warlock cleave, but we'll see how it goes. Lucron does get a random Infernal spawning on him, trying to banish that thing, but I think it's just a random Infernal. Stun into Boomstar as he tried to go for a cast onto Lucron. Maybe perfect opportunity for Lucron to finally get some pets up and running. Trying to land a fear onto Boom. Interrupts himself for a second. Does get interrupted onto Boomstar. Does not get a fear of his own. Handle goes coming out versus Casbolt. Stun into Boomstar. You trick inside of it immediately. Trying to go for a Tyrant right now. And Boomstar is just going to try to see if he can banish the Tyrant out. Does Lucron get to stop it? He does not. The Tyrant is going to get banished. Wall is up and running for Boomstar right now. The pets are doing quite a bit of damage, but that Tyrant is one who's doing the majority of it. That's going to be Cataclysm by Boom. Tyrant finally coming out of banish, and he's not going to be able to get any casts off. Boomstar does have a Mallet rolling on him. Doesn't allow him Lucron to get himself a little bit of pressure rolling into Boomstar. Random Tyrant spawning for Boom. That's going to be stun onto the Destro Warlock. Lucron got a bunch of pets surrounding Boomstar. He's going to go for Warlock Hellstone immediately. Getting a horror effect up onto Lucron. He does go for a gateway and an interrupt onto Casbolt for Boom. The pets are going to get behind the pillar with Boom. That's going to give him a little bit of resources, and of course, this is to give him a little bit of that drain life. Immolate for free on the pet with some Casbolts to fall. Actually, Lucron trying to control his pet a little bit better. Gonna pull the pet before he gets hit with the Casbolt. But I think Boomstar is still trying to force Lucron to sacrifice all his resources for it. Lucron also does have a corruption. He has a technical corruption that has not been proccing on Boomstar whatsoever. That's been very unfortunate. Stun onto Boomstar. He does get to spawn a random Infernal on top of the leap target. It actually does say leap target. Look at that. Above the pet's name, it says leap target. Do you see that? It actually says leap target. We get to see where it's supposed to leap. That's so weird. I wish there was more of a UI that we could see. You know what I mean? Maybe Blizzard will implement something like that in the future. Gonna be Cataclysm right now for Boomstar. Got himself Dark Souls ability, but the horror effect is gonna run him in the other direction. Try to see if he can set up a demonic gateway. Going up against Lucron. Try to see if he can get around him. Lucron staying mobile. 12 minutes in, 47% dampening. Boomstar trying to get Casbolt out on the bed. Looks like he's gonna get a horror effect onto Lucron. Stun onto Boomstar to stop him from being able to get some freebie casts. If anything, Lucron can at least disrupt Boomstar's playstyle. And something tells me Lucron is actually playing for Breath of the Undying, or Breath of the Dying. The new essence we have. It does quite a bit of damage, and it has a shorter cooldown if you're hitting somebody that's in the execute range. So I wonder if that's what he's playing. I wonder if that's why he's not going for Crucible, which is good too, but Breath of the Dying is what I think a lot of you guys started playing recently. It's good. The passive is great. The active is pretty good. It has a longer cooldown than Crucible. Only one charge on a 45-second CD. But it's good either way. It might be the meta. It's actually going to be an actual Infernal up for Look right now. Stun into Boomstar. Is he going to go for a full-handed go down? Tyrant has actually got himself wall up and running. Maybe a second stun into Boomstar. The Tyrant is going to be able to get some clap damage onto Boomstar. Looks like Boom is running around. That's going to be Mally rolling into Boomstar as well. The Tyrant is going to be on the other side. Boom getting hit with a stun. The Tyrant actually getting some freebie damage. Trying to go for a banish on the Tyrant. He does get one more cast out. Mally still rolling into Boomstar. It could be really bad for him. Lucron got quite a bit of an advantage. All the pets are actually doing quite a bit of damage to Boomstar as well. It's not quite enough to bring him down into dangerous levels because those pets by themselves are just not that amazing. But Boomstar is low in health. That's going to be Twisted Appendage. Actually does hit him. It actually does do damage to him. And I think it does some damage through the wall as well. If Boomstar walks next to a Twisted Appendage, it'll just retarget him immediately. And Boom is on the run right now. Looker is trying to chase him. Boom is waiting for cooldowns. So it's going to be stunned onto Boomster right now. Does Looker get him right here? Actually, might be at wall for Boomster right now. Does he have anything? Warlock House not coming out. Does he have a horror effect to follow? Fear trying to come out for Looker and does not get it. Looker does have a reflect if things really go bad. Fear coming out into the pep. Horror effect by the both of them. Looker trinkets out of it. Has a mallet rolling on him. Boomster might actually be put in a bad spot. It's going to be Breath of Dying, getting quite crucially low. Boomster barely in health. Trying to get on top of Looker. He could go for a reflect as well. Try to bait out the reflect. It's going to be Cataclysm. Does he land it? I don't think he was able to. Boomster's still in a bad spot. The Petals are on top of him. The next stun could be it. Does hit the stun? Does Lucron have the damage? He does hit it with a breath of the undying, as Lucron is the undying right now. The undead Warlock not gonna go down to a Destro Warlock just like that. He's gonna fire through thick and thin, and even with you said what, opening up as a suburb with a big old DFA. Is Lucron gonna have a chance here? Trying to get a fear. There's gonna be 100 cooldowns. Maybe he got a horror effect coming up in just a little bit to get a horror effect rolling onto you said what. Does hit him with a horror. Does he trinket out of it? Could be a fear out of Lucron. He's gonna land a fear with a drain left right after. 15 minutes though. That's going to be 62% dampening. Lucron does go down as the rogue doesn't load all the burst on him. BS Sneaky is up next. He's playing that sub. He's playing that Assassination. Does play Assass. Phantom Knight's coming out. He's going to get hit with a cheap shot. Use of what? Trying to get himself a little bit of damage. He's going to go for the big old DFA. Does quite a lot to be a Sneaky. Good opener. With an evasion to follow, BS Sneaky got a vision of his own as well. Needs to go for Phantom Knights to get the poison rolling onto use of wood. Maybe even Crucible because it does go through evasion. It looks like he is trying to build common points. Use of what? Try to see if he can sneak out of that. Does have dots rolling. BS Sneaky could catch maybe a reset onto use of what? Trying to keep him in combat as best possible. One kidney is all he needs. Blind on BS Sneaky. He does not want to trinket this. He does not want to trinket it. Use of what? He's going to be able to catch himself a reset there. And if Use of what plays it right, he actually could do some damage to BS Sneaky. Maybe catch a reset. He's going to have blood of the cold blood available. Kidney shot. Does BS Sneaky trick it? He does trick it. Could go for a kidney shot. Landing kidney shot. Tricky coming out for you said what with a cheap shot. DFA coming out onto BS Sneaky. He does go for a Cloak of Shadows with Crucibles trying to unload the damage, and the rogue in the alliance does go down as BS does end up winning. I wonder if you can see. Wait, can you see his Absorbatron? I think you might be able to see his Absorbatron. I think he's giving you away. He's like, I'm there just to shield you. I'm there just to shield you. He's just there just to do his work, man. He's there to shield. He's not there to give away. Drake coming out for Night Demon with a sap for BS Sneaky. What a sneaky play. Night Demon just made a raw mistake just now. Garo cheap shot. It's going to allow BS Sneaky to get some damage. Not going to go with a kidney shot. Probably should get a lead kidney or something. Kidney to get that extra bleed rolling. But he got the rupture. He got the poisons and Garo. So I guess he's fine with that. But that kidney shot, internal bleeding. Ooh. Is it good? Kidney shot does come out. It's going to be heavily DR'd. BS Sneaky might have to go for more kiting spray. It's going to be Night Demon struggling to get some mobility to catch up to BS Sneaky. So far hasn't been able to. He's trying to see if he can get an angle with Fell Rush, but it's going to be a restyle for the rogue. Night Demon not looking healthy as he's sitting at about half health. That's going to be Crucible to follow, so he won't even be able to use Spectral Sight to catch up to the rogue. Trying to bait him next to him. Could maybe even go for a sap since he's so close to the platform. Not even using Spectral Sight right now. He's going to use Crucible defensively. It's trying to fly away with his demon wings. BS Sneaky does end up getting the sap. It's his game to lose right now. Night Demon has no trinket, no nothing. Cube shot coming out for BS Sneaky. I think he's trying to go for free and Venoms. Mark for the kidney shot available. Does get the dots rolling. That's going to be Night Demon going down to the Crucible at the very end. Who's up next? It looks like it is going to be Kyle Jr. And I think Kyle got it in the bag right now. Dude, look at him look all fiery. He got himself the hand of Ragnaros and everything. Did he pick up the eye just now? He did. He's literally just trying to backpedal at BS Sneaky to give him an opportunity, man. He's trying to backpedal towards him. He knows exactly where he's at. Looks like BS Sneaky is going to be able to land the opener to Kyle. Open up with a cheap shot into maybe a kidney shot right after. Trying to go for a big old vendetta in the opener. Kyle not tricking out of this at all. He's probably going to pop a wall. Actually, I don't think he even needs to. He got some cooldowns popping a wall right now to deal with the dots. Trying to see if he can get a setup onto Sneaky. Sneaky popping that evasion. Kyle needs to get behind him if he wants to get any pressure rolling this. Kyle fall behind too far. Still holding on to Trinket. Still has one more charge of wall. Trying to get himself a little bit of a heal. Waiting out for that evasion available for BS Sneaky. Trinket coming out. And Kyle actually does go down. Kyle did not respect the enemy. Kyle did not respect BS Sneaky one bit and did get clapped out for that. 93% dampening. Sneaky, I think, got himself a winnable position. He just needs Cloak of Shadows and he's set. Seawreck needs to clap up as much damage before that cloak is ready. That's about all he's got. Being an Assassination Rogue, I think it does really benefit him though. 95% dampening, boys. Longest game of my life. Does open up with a Garrobe, cheap shot, instant trick it for Seawork. Does get a breath onto Sneaky into Palmer for after. He could trick it if he wanted to. Seawork trying to get as much damage with as greater powers as possible. Trick coming out for Sneaky with a cloak shot. Immediately doesn't even want his health to go low. He's going to get Crucibles up on Seawork. Seawork got him that triple up and running. It's going to be Seawork popping in the Voodoo trick to get a big dot onto Sneaky. Trying to get some AoE flame strikes around the corner. Has combustion rolling, but he's not going to be able to do much with it. Does go for a blink, trying to get a fire blast in for Sneaky, but that's about all he's got. He needs to stop this rogue from resetting. That's going to be Marco ready for Sneaky right now. Next getting shot could be over. Ice Buck available for Seawork. Does pop an Ice Buck because he knows his cauterize is not going to heal him for much. He does need to get a breath of the Sneaky though. He needs to land that breath. Does not get the breath. Sneaky actually might have won this game right now with Sap coming out, and Seawork is going to have that cauterize, but 100% dampening. He's not going to get any healing off of it. It's actually 0 dampening. Cheap shot by Sneaky, and I think he's going to have it down. Trying to get those Crucibles up and running. Seawork trying not to lose out of the game. Actually, cauterize does give you the full health, but I think he's going to burn out. It's yeah. Oh yeah, I was just a burnout right there. It actually does give you health, apparently. It will give you full health through dampening. I just learned that. But that's going to be one for that rogue at the end. Holy crap, that was a long game. 22 minutes?